aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats Best FM.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What a wonderful day it is to be alive. This is your host, Percival Palmer, flying solo this morning, but not really solo because I'm going to be having some guests online with me. Yesterday we were not in office, in studio, because there was some technical difficulty with our towers, but we do apologize. We know some people meet with us in look towards us for their early morning fare. Good morning to you as you are traversing this country from Nigger Point to Moran Point. That's east to west, north to south. We thank God that we are alive in this very crucial time in our nation. But the word of God says, righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach unto it. Are you a righteous individual? And another verse of scripture says, write the vision, make it plain, make it very clear, because it awaits for the appointed time to become a reality in our lives. And it also says in the word of God that when the wicked are ruling, the people groan and mourn. But if persons are righteous, then there is rejoicing. And so, as we come to you today, remember, as we continue to say, and you know one of my favorite scriptures is Psalms 89 and verse 14. It says, his throne is built upon righteousness and justice, mercy and truth go before him. And it hasn't changed. It has not changed. It has not changed. Are you a righteous individual? Are you a righteous individual in terms of what you say and what you do? That speaks to your integrity as an individual. And as we've often say, you can be a man of integrity, but you can be an evil man of integrity, because what you say is what you do by your actions. But we want to shift it, that you are a man of integrity because your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your actions reflect a heart posture of righteousness, a heart posture of justice, a heart posture of truth and mercy, because you have to represent who your father is. And that becomes very, 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 very important to you. So we just want to thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to be having some guests with us online, waiting to touch base with, I call him my country pastor, but he is not a country pastor. He's a very urban man who has been educated in the halls, the hallowed halls of a famous university, not here in Jamaica, but overseas. And he brings to us a whole lot of wisdom and understanding, a man who has been there. And so when he speaks, he's not speaking from the seat of his pants. He's speaking from experiences that he has had. And he has maintained, and he continues to maintain, that if we do not as individuals change our value system, if we don't change our value system, we are going to be in problems. We're going to be in problems because we continue to complain that our leaders are corrupt. But our leaders only represent us. Our leaders only represent us. They only represent us. They're only a reflection of who we are. So if we are going to be changing the status quo, as it were, we have to be changed in terms of our thinking. We have to think right. We have to shift in terms of our value systems and what it really means to us. And so, as we've been saying, we are at a very important juncture point in our history in terms of what is happening. Some happenings on the weekend. I do believe when I was coming down, I saw the electronic billboard ads. And so a major event is happening this weekend. I think it is the JLB conference, their annual conference. The PMP had theirs in September. The JLP is having theirs now. They are the political party that is holding the reins of government. And we'll see what happens, what comes out of it. And I think somebody say a first lick in terms of the things that we're gonna see happening. And we're seeking to understand what it is about. I think yesterday, no, the day before in Parliament, Dr. Nigel Clark indicated that with immediate effect, they're going to be causing for a decrease in the fares that are paid on the JUTC. So it's moving from, I think it's $100 to $70 at an effective date. Need to just double check that. And Mr. Newman was saying, wow, I don't understand what is happening. But how do you do that and then in the same breath, you decrease the fare? But so it is. Some people have counted and says, well, JUTC, in terms of their load that they carry on a daily basis, not very significant compared to the real load of transportation that needs to happen. Yes, it will impact some people, but not in a significant way. So I repeat, I'm going somewhere with that because I want Michael. We're still trying to get him. We're still trying to get Michael to comment on something that happened on the weekend. There's a person that they honored, and he was inducted into the PSOJ Hall of Fame, private sector of Jamaica, their Hall of Fame as a major. But he said some very, very, very interesting things, and you know, if you know who that gentleman is, when he comes out and he begins to speak the way that he's doing, I am trying to find that because it was headline, Jamaica is moving towards becoming a failed state, to paraphrase what he was. But it was something that would be said, and if he says it as a person who has served this nation in many capacities, when you look at who Mr. Mitchell is and how he has served this country, we need to wake up. We need to understand, as somebody is saying to us, what a clock a strike in Jamaica. Because at this very, very important point, he's saying something. And you know what he said? He says, what Mr. Patterson, and I remember it very well, in the 90s, he says the values and attitudes. The values and attitudes program. When it was said, a lot of people laughed Mr. Patterson to scorn, as it were. But probably PJ Patterson was being very prophetic, and he had been in the hustings politically for a long time, many years, from in the 70s, yes. It is said that he was the person who engineered that famous victory in 72, because he was the person who was the campaign person who led it and did all of the political work. So, and he's been around. Remember, he was a minister of government. Then he became prime minister, became the longest serving prime minister. And he introduced the values and attitude, which Mr. Golding kind of followed up it. Portia Simpson did. And then there was the Transform Jamaica Secretariat in the office to say, let's move it forward. It died, but a wake-up call by Mr. Howard Mitchell. He's sitting on the wall and he's watching to see what he's seen, and he has spoken. And if you would believe that what I'm saying, I ask you, listen to that speech. Listen to what the gentleman is saying. Listen to what the gentleman is saying, because he said a whole lot of stuff, but it is important that you listen to what the gentleman was saying to us as a country, as a nation. Crucial. And I want to introduce a song that is one of the songs that we utilize on this program. If we don't change our values and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be another victim. And I don't want us to be a victim in this country, you know. There are some of us who have decided that we're not living here. And so it means that we're saying all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, because we are seeing, we are looking, and we are saying if we are continuing along this line, the way that we are proceeding, we're not going anywhere. So I've asked my engineer just to bring up that song for us. Still trying to get Michael, because I want him to comment on that and give a perspective, because he's been saying that in terms of changing our values and our attitudes become very, very important. Go ahead, Mr. Engineer.
We can make a change. Come together. Whoa, if we don't change up the values and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the values and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. My heavens declare Rastafari glory. Haile Selassie manifests his life. Now I shall tell of my story, 'cause this story has been lies, contradicting themselves in every illustration, and they make believe in a world of confusion. Now I just see that they are not real, 'cause the truths have been revealed. And if we don't change up the values and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the values and rearrange the system, well, we're always gonna be, the victim.
Yes. So let me go to the article that I've been referring to. It happened on Monday. This is Howard Mitchell. And this is in Gleaner. These are his words. He says, "But I put it to you that we are in grave danger of failure as a nation, as a society, as a community of souls. We are hell-bent on self-destruction because of our culture of selfish and divisive tribalism, which steadfastly ignores value unless it is clothed in green or orange. We practice the doctrine of divide and rule that was practiced upon us for many years, passed by our slave masters, and refuse to acknowledge the damage that we now do to our future. We steep ourselves in the culture of piracy and mayhem and theft, which is so ingrained in our beginnings, but will be the cause of the end of us as a functional society. And we blame it on everything but our own refusal to establish for ourselves the values and attitudes that are critical to survival and to true prosperity." Listen to him. "More recently, we are treating lives as commodities to be bought and sold by contract, and we have substituted brutality and perversion for reason, dialogue, and loving correction. Unfortunately, the pronouncements and behaviors of some of our political leaders encourage our less progressive elements to actions and attitude that take us further down the slippery slope to hell. And even more unfortunately, there is little or no chastisement and accountability from their peers." Listen to this. And this is so important. You hear us, you hear myself, and you hear my co-presenter Minett speaking about this. We are to ensure that we have established in this nation, and this is it, values and attitudes that we accept across the board, that come what may, in every circumstance and every situation, it is accepted. And here it says it. "A country with no beliefs, with no centrality of established values, is a body without a brain, a computer without an operating system, and no amount of hasty, inappropriately adopted legislation will change that." And this is, and you need to understand who Howard Mitchell is. He's been a businessman. He's been an advisor to the PMP and the JLP. He has sat on many boards in this country. And beyond that, he has been an advisor to people, leaders in this Caribbean, in the Caribbean nations, in terms of how they need to do. So when he speaks, we need to listen. And he says this again. And this is something that Mike has said. Values. What are the values that we hold dear as a nation here in Jamaica? What are the values that we have? We say that we are a Christian country. But do the values of our Christian faith permeate what we do every single day? And he says it. Morality cannot be legislated. So the whole thing with corruption and manner thief, and we have to deal with that. The value of life. It must be taught, encouraged, exemplified, and most importantly, it must be led. Morality cannot be legislated. It must be encouraged. taught, exemplified, and most importantly, it must be led. When the laws that make up the rule book by which we function and prosper are mocked, avoided, flouted by leadership, mocked, avoided, flouted by leadership, when rules are applied selectively, enforced on the weak but not the strong, the gate to autocracy is open, and that spells doom in a society with immature institutions and confusing or non-existent values. I'm deeply concerned that Jamaica today fits that model. Jamaicans, wake up. Wake up. And he speaks. Because one of the things that we've talked about is the Integrity Commission. One of the things that we continue to say on this program, even in terms of the police, the law and order, and what they seek to do, and cases that are there that we report on, and you're saying, what about that one? What about that one? And you're saying, oh, let us wake up. This man is speaking from a position of knowing and being involved. And they say, if fish come from river bottom until a shark down there, you need to take heed. We come up to our 7 o'clock break, but even as we go, today we are going to be speaking to Dr. Kamalo, who is a visiting professor from the University of, let me get it right, KwaZulu-Natal. He's a professor of classics, philosophy, religion. He did a lecture on Tuesday, which was under the patronage of P.J. Patterson, in terms of speaking about governance, morality, and trust from a Pan-African perspective. He's going to join us after our break, and he's going to also be speaking today at the graduation of the International University of the Caribbean, a university that has come out of the United Church in Jamaica and Grand Cayman, and has done some significant work. And so we're going to be having conversations with him after the break, against the backdrop of what Howard Mitchell has said, but even in terms of his experience in South Africa. They've come out of an apartheid system. They're trying to build institutions, and we're going to have a very interesting conversation this morning. So when we come back from the break, after we take our various advertisements and things, and after the JIS news, we're going to be talking to Dr. Kamal this morning. Come on,
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
One already, two and drive. One already.
You going all Arbor driver?
Oh, is a charter you look, mom?
Yeah.
Alright, no problem. Be ready I know, man. Boy, outside hotty, man. I go turn on the AC. You alright with that, mums?
Yes, man. You know the fishing village driver?
Yes, man. You know, some used to be a fisherman once upon a time.
Really? So, wait, how you move from fisherman to taxi man? What happened?
Why, things they kind of get rough at sea, you know?
What you mean?
We did just have to start pre things differently lately, you know? The whole thing had changed up. The whole environment, everything was going on in the world now and so.
What you really I say?
Well, me sure you hear about climate change already. The whole ecosystem not really balanced again, you know? It off. People just catch fish, still no fish not even really left. Them think they make climate change go on.
Climate change?
Yeah, man. And that we are contribute to right now.
So, that's why you're not a fisherman again?
Well, no. Me will always be a fisherman still, because that used to put food on my table. But now I got ever forget that. But yeah, we kind of overdo it now, man. I mean, certain type of fish, you not see them again. And you can't find fish in a certain place where they have no fish one time.
Oh, Lord, man. Yo, the government can't do something about this.
Boy, mums, I no government alone, you know. We have to do something too. Our livelihood, that, so we supposed to protect it more than anybody else.
A real thing that. But how me can help even though me am a fisherman?
Alright, so here what me I say. You see the same parrotfish we love cook so much in Jamaica? We need to stop eat them so much so the numbers can increase. Them important to the sea because of them help grow the coral reef them.
Coral reef, how that?
Coral reef are something that help the fish and the sea, man, you know? The more of them we have, the better it is for the fish and the sea. If we can protect the parrotfish, we would have more reefs and more fish, and we could have stopped drive taxi and go back to my fishing.
Yo, me never know none of this. It sounds like everybody need to start looking into this and play for them parts.
Yeah, man, a real thing that. And we contribute to the problem, so if we do something different, it's going to make a change, you know?
You know what? We need to start talk the things them know and show the whole country where I go on. Because it not sound pretty at all.
True, yes, man.
So, you're done with the fishing thing then?
Not really, you know. As been telling me, will always be a fisherman. I know, so I start my own fish farm not too long ago. I just build it up till the fish them ready for sale.
So when you think you're ready for sell your fish them, sir?
Boy, I think by about next week, so, you know.
Alright, you know what? Let me have a right here, sir.
So, well, you know, but I got a fishing village again, lady?
No, sir, give me your number. So me, I go support your business. As soon as the fish them ready, you me a call.
Alright, see it here. My name Bob. Just call me next week. We will definitely have the fish them ready for you.
Listen out for another exciting episode of this drama series. We must protect, prepare, and preserve. Climate-smart fishers make climate-ready communities. A message from the National Fisheries Authority.
Vehicle operators must always use safety devices. Helmets and seatbelts are there to make sure you arrive alive, protecting you against injuries and even death. Since the start of the year, far too many road users have died. Some of these could have been prevented if the victims wore helmets or seatbelts. The new Road Traffic Act will fine persons for not wearing their seatbelt or helmet. So, do yourself a favor. Wear your helmet, use your seatbelt, save money, and stay alive.
Since 2017, 11 communities have had unlimited access to potable water thanks to the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development's Water Shop initiative.
So now we don't have to pay for water anymore for drinking purpose.
And under the Rural Development Program, residents in Chambers Pen Hanover, Cheswick St. Thomas, and Banks Clarendon are benefiting from house wiring, road and school upgrades, and other amenities.
We are doing serious work to give hope to our citizens. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, developing communities for the benefit of all citizens.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Special announcement. Elder Murray and the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ is coming to Jamaica for 2 services. These services will take place on Saturday, November 25th and Sunday, November 26th. On Saturday, the service location has been changed to the Montego Bay Convention Center, located Half Moon, P.O. Box 4058, Rose Hall. That's Montego Bay, St. James. Service time, 6 p.m. Again, the Saturday service has been changed to a new location. That is the Montego Bay Convention Center, located Half Moon, P.O. Box 4058, Rose Hall, Montego Bay, St. James. Service time, 6 p.m. Sunday service will be in Kingston, Jamaica, at the Rock Hotel, located 2-4 King Street, Kingston, Jamaica. Service time, 3 p.m. All are welcome. Thank you, and may God bless.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road here in Mobile, Alabama in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray, or you may call us at area code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
Goodness mercy, it's me again, Lord, your restorer, your game changer. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Bess FM 100. It's Apostle Clive Campbell, a.k.a. the Khaki Suit Man, coming to you from 8 to 12 Orange Street, also Richmond District, Mandeville. Embrace the change.
Half a tree, one already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Yes, Jamaica and the world, you want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Best 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Best 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Best 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it till it busts.
Ready for the warfare. Ready for the warfare.
For discussions on health and education, inspiring interviews, surprise giveaways, your favorite songs, tune in to Best 100 FM this and every Sunday at 11:30 to 12 noon. It's Distinction 411, your weekly college magazine program hosted by James and the Distinction family. Catch you on Sunday.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Love more, 'cause you open up the door.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Best 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
Some things that watch me fly on Jamaica.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
It's good. It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Good morning, Professor. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am wonderful. So,
Thank you.
I promised you that we'll have all the way from South Africa Professor Kumalo, who is the Dean of the School of Religion, Philosophy and Classics, University of KwaZulu, Natal in South Africa. I must tell you, Professor, that I visited South Africa. I've been to Stellenbosch.
Okay.
And you probably know somebody I know. It is Pastor Cassie Carnes. That name rings a bell? He's a...
Frank Chikane.
Yes.
Well, anybody who is worth being called a South African must know Frank Chikane. So I do know him. He's a big name.
Right. Okay. So welcome to Jamaica. Welcome to Jamaica. You have come
Thank you so much.
on the occasion of, you're here for the graduation as the guest speaker for the International University of the Caribbean. That happens today at 1 o'clock at Webster Memorial. But on Tuesday, you did a lecture on Pan-African reflections on good governance, democracy, and public trust, and that was under the patronage of former Prime Minister, the most Honorable Percival James Patterson. But before we talk about that, tell us something about yourself. You are the professor of theology at that university?
Yes, at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. That's where I come from. I have my research interest and teaching and learning interest in the area of the interface between religion and governance. How does religion influences and shapes governance in society? Is there a place for religion when we are going through the daily activities of running and organizing our society? And what is that role? So that's my interest. So that's where I come from, and this is who I am.
Oh, that's interesting. And let me ask you some questions. We know about South Africa in terms of what happened in apartheid, and we know what has happened since the destruction of apartheid. But how has the country moved forward in terms of equitable distribution of the resources that are in the country? Because when I was there, I was just amazed of how good some things were. But then I visited townships. How is that working? How is that? What's happening?
Okay, now thank you. But maybe let me start with the point that the purpose of my visit is because the University of KwaZulu-Natal and the International University of the Caribbean they are working on a partnership and a memorandum of understanding. So actually my being here is quite official and in many ways patronized by those two institutions together with the former Prime Minister. Well, to ask your question and getting straight into it, there is just no question whatsoever that there has been improvement in the lives of ordinary South Africans when one looks from where they are coming from before 1994, when there was apartheid. The fact that people are no longer treated as pariahs in a country of their birth, they have the rights of citizens instead of being treated as non-citizens, as it used to be. The fact that people are actually running the country politically, there is no doubt about that. You've got a democratic government in place that has been elected by the people. There are the improvements economically, if you may think that people were not privileged. Doors were not opened for black people to occupy whatever position that is available in society. They were always going to occupy the inferior positions and marginal ones. But now any black person with the qualifications that they have, they can climb the ladder. When the national budget is put together, it considers all the citizens instead of how it used to be before, when color and as it influences the social structure used to influence and manifest itself in the way that the budget was put in place. Having a majority of black people, but always getting the least of the proportion. The minority government, the minority population, which was white, used to be benefiting from the lion's share. So those things have generally changed. There are houses that have been built for people, and also many, many other things, social grants and all that. But of course, that doesn't mean we don't have problems. We still have lots and huge problems. And I think it should be appreciated that problems that have been built in the last 300 years, so to speak.
How many years, Professor?
Well, you are looking at around 300 years.
300 years.
The first whites arrived in South Africa in 1652.
Okay.
You know, so from there, that's when the government has always been white, right to until now, when you are talking of 1994.
Okay.
So that's a long time of oppression. Of course, apartheid as a system was promulgated in 1948. But before that, there was a system of segregation, colonization, dehumanization, marginalization, even though it was not necessarily legislated as such. But that's how things were happening. And so the difference has really been huge in what has happened in people's lives. So for the past 29 years, the people of South Africa have been working hard to rebuild the society so that all people belong to South Africa as South Africans and have the government that they've put in place.
Okay.
Have we cracked it? No, it's work in progress.
It's work in progress. I like that.
It's work in progress in every society. It is forever an unfinished business.
Of work in progress.
Yes.
Professor, so you would have progressed through that, and you are saying it's a work in progress, that there's change that is happening, that the majority of the population, which is of African descent, is now beginning to feel that this is their country, and we have a right to be here. Let me ask you a question. The gospel speaks to the fact that each person has been created equal in the sight of God.
Yes.
And with that basic truth, that must mean for you, being a professor of theology and seeing how does religion impact on governance, where does that leave you in terms of the gospel, the religion? Because I'm assuming that you are a minister of the gospel. Is that correct? That's right. And how does that work itself out in terms of the normal course of things, in terms of changing of laws and that kind of a thing? How important is the message of the gospel in that, in terms of intersection?
Yes, indeed. The message of the gospel would always firstly start from where you've just rightfully started, that all human beings are created in the image of God. And so there is no human being, no matter what their color is, their social status, their ethnic group is, can be said to be better and have a superior status from another human being. That's not how the gospel teaches us. The gospel teaches us that all human beings are equal and they all bear the same image of God, so that in terms of their right to exist, it is a God-given right that cannot be taken away by anyone. And then it also then goes to the teaching that the rest of creation, the earth, the rivers, the human beings, the world and all that is in it, as it is said in Psalm 24, belongs to God. The people and all that, those who are in it, belongs to God. So we all have the same and equal right to exist, firstly, and secondly, to benefit from the resources, the minerals that creation offers to us, but also to have the same levels of rights to participate in making the decisions of how we want to live and how we want our society to be governed. No one has got a much bigger right than the other to that. All the political organizations and the constitutions those are all social instruments of social construct that we put together to enable this ideal of all human beings having the same right to live, the same right to enjoy life and the resources that we have, the same right to participate in the governance of society, to be a reality. And so that's where governance and religion meets. So that what we see as democracy, it's not necessarily a biblical concept or maybe a theological concept, but at least it is the one concept that is much more closer to any other system of governance when you compare it and you try to find roots and connections from the scripture. Democracy comes up as being the best system that we can embrace if we are committed to the gospel. And so we use the gospel to underpin democracy as we have it, and also to create opportunities for people to participate in the governance of their society so that they can achieve the ends and the benefits of good governance.
Okay. That's so, as you have done your work in terms of how does religion and governance, let's fast forward to what you said in terms of the lecture that you had on Tuesday in terms of Pan-African reflections on good governance, democracy, and public trust. Because as a nation, because I want to bring it home to what is happening presently in our country, because there was a gentleman, businessman, he was being recognized, and he's worked across the political divide, and he said, we are not part of seeming to fail. And he makes a very important thing that says, if we don't have shared values and we are just two tribes fighting, we don't take the good from each other, we're gonna be in a serious problem. Tell me about good governance, democracy, and public trust, because right here in Jamaica, the trust deficit is very, very low. We don't trust anything that people say to us, from government, from institutions. What do you think? How does what you've said, the reflections on good governance, democracy, and public trust, how does that apply to our situation here in Jamaica?
No, that's quite interesting. The fact that people are disillusioned with institutions it looks like it's one of those things that are prevalent in our contemporary society, and there's just so much that makes it difficult for people to trust our institutions, because most of the time they are disappointed by our leaders and our systems. And maybe sometimes people are very impatient with institutions and leaders, so that they easily get disillusioned and want to give up into those systems. Even in my own country and in most of the countries in Africa, you'll find that that's the same kind of feeling, where people are disillusioned with, they are struggling to give their trust as the public to the institutions of government. And there are many reasons for that.
All right, so, okay, we're going to go on our break, but I want you to think about, is it that our leaders have oversold what they can do for people in terms of expectations, and when people don't deliver, they say, can't bother, and they begin to take their own destiny in their hands. We're going to go on a break, and we're going to come back. We want you to stay on the line. I want you to address that, because you have said it's not only here in Jamaica, but across Africa. Is it that our leaders have oversold what they can do to the people, and the people say, sure? Because in our last election, as we close, only 30% of our people actually voted. Most people didn't bother go to the polls. So the level of apathy is great. Okay. All right. So when we come back from our break, we're going to continue in that discussion, and then we'll move to some other things.
That's fine.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Do you need reliable health care? We have it.
Yes, we do. Great George Street Pharmacy. Shop number 897 Great George Street, Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland. Opening hours, Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-603-7372 or WhatsApp us at 876-205-0499. Yes, we have reliable health care for you at Great George Street Pharmacy, Savannah, Lamar.
Taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Yes, Jamaica and the world, you want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show.
We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. We have online Professor Kumalo, who is the Dean of the School of Religion, Philosophy and Classics at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. And he did a public lecture on Pan-African reflections on good governance, democracy, and public trust. When we went for the break, Professor, I was asking you in terms of the trust deficit that exists in our society with our leaders. I was wondering, is it that our leaders have oversold what they can do and raise the expectations, and people are just saying, we can't be bothered with that anymore? What has been your experience? Because you are saying that, hey, this is what's happening in Africa, and yeah.
You see, what is interesting, in fact, is that there's research that was done, especially in my country,
yes,
where they were asking a survey done, looking on people, what do people trust? Where do they give their trust? What institutions do they give their trust? And government came out very, very low. You know, people trust actually the church more than their government currently. And that's happening all across the world. And you are raising or putting your finger to a very important point. Have our leaders not overpromised? And the question could be, what else could they be? Because one of the weaknesses actually of the system of democracy is that you need to promise as much as you can in order to get the vote. And the promises that you make in order to garner votes doesn't necessarily to be based on figures and facts. You know, when people campaign, they campaign. And they will, even they have figures and facts and all that, but most of the time they will be exaggerated because the aim is to attract the voter. And people believe that when they are in power, they will be able to fulfill these promises that they are making. And so you can never be elected without making promises. And that's the weakness also in the system. Yes, government democracy is the best system. I said in the lecture that I gave on Tuesday, I quoted John Dewey, who is one of the key thinkers of democracy, who once said, democracy is the worst form of governance, but it is better than the rest.
It is the worst form. It is the worst form of government, but it is better than the rest. So
yeah, it's better than the rest. There's nothing else that you can choose but governance. But the point he was making, he was saying it is also not a perfect mechanism or instrument, but at least its weaknesses are limited compared to the alternatives. So it is virtually a weakness, the fact that you are outside government. For you to get into government, you must start by making transactional promises.
Right.
You know, and just keep, sometimes even thumbs back these promises. And when you get into power, you realize that we promise people houses within 2 years, we promises to end unemployment in 5 years, we promise this and that and that. When you get into power, you find that the machines and the levers of government are much more slower and complex than you thought.
All right,
and then people turn around and say, no, but you lied to us.
Okay, right. So, okay, so that's an interesting reflection and observation that you have made. Can I ask a question? All right, so democracy is better than, can you just name the other types of government that exist? There's autocracy,
Yes, well, in that system, he was thinking of fascism, autocracy, and he was also thinking of the monarchy systems, which was much more prevalent in societies like African societies like ours, where you have the traditional system of leadership, where people are get into position because they have been born in the royal families and all that. It's hereditary.
All right, but
no one has to choose. He was also thinking of other systems like theocracy in other parts of the world where some families would claim that they've been put in place by God and they rule through the rule of God. Those are all the other systems and all that, and that some contemporary ones that one can be thinking about, socialism and all sorts of other things. And so, but of course, being a person who was from this side, from the European side or Western side, we saw democracy that when we are comparing these other systems, at least democracy creates the space for all citizens
to have a say,
participate.
To participate and have a say. All right, but Doc, all right, so you have said that. No. So what happens, what does happen? You make promises that you're going to do this, that, and when you get in, you recognize that it is not so, and the people that you made the promises is, because it was a transaction, you say, but you lied, and so therefore the trust deficit is very, very low. But let me ask you a question. But in some countries, like we look in Europe and in other places, there are some values that the individuals in the society agree on. So whether you are in opposition or you're in the government, there are some things that don't change. You'd say it's the law of the Medes and Persians. We have had here in Jamaica where you change government, something good is happening, and then you change and you put that on pause because you don't want it to be said that I never accomplished it. But the question is, what then should be the motivation of leaders who are seeking to lead in any context? Is it that I'm seeking the best welfare of the citizens, or is it I'm seeking the best welfare of myself? Because you talk about good governance. What does that look like? Yes.
Well, there are just basic principles. Firstly, in my thinking, is the personal integrity.
Personal integrity.
Integrity, yes.
Right.
The people who get into government. People, before they should be promising us what they are going to do for us, we should be interested in electing them because we can trust them.
Okay.
They have got integrity. It should start from there. And again, coming from a perspective of religion, there should be people who believe that being in government is not just only on elections and vote, but it is a sense of calling to serve people and to make society a better place for all people. That they must have that motivation that they are called to come and make this difference. That's their contribution, that's their mission, to make society better. And those are ingredients that then you have the principles and prescripts that are in the Constitution of what the leaders should behave, and also how the economical systems and structures are arranged in society. That's fine, but over and above that, we need to bring souls into governments. We need to bring humanity. In my culture, the Zulu culture, we've got what we call Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, yes, I know about that. Yes, right.
Yes, the humaneness that should be in governments. And unfortunately, because of the temptations of power, because that's the biggest problem, and most people people don't get into government because they are just there to amass wealth for themselves. You have a number of people who are just committed indeed to making a difference, but they actually got overwhelmed because politics and governance comes with power, access to power, and also resources that then work against one's convictions and thinking always seducing them to want to have more for themselves rather than for society.
All right.
So that's what is actually happening.
So, Doc, let's summarize. So it is personal integrity. It is having a calling to what you're doing to serve. You've introduced the Zulu concept of Ubuntu, and then you were talking about power, because even in our society now there's the Integrity Commission that looks at how people use power to enrich themselves. Is that something that's happening in South Africa? Because we have a challenge here too. Is it? So what do you suggest, Prof, in terms of to what is your suggestion? You are seeking to see how does religion help in terms of ensuring that we are in good governance and there's trust that there's a process that is happening, but then we have leaders who are truthful to the persons, because I think my personal conviction is don't go in promising, but you'll never get elected. If you don't promise something, you're not going to get elected. If you don't promise that you're going to do this, you will never get elected. And I think so as a man of the cloth, like how do you fix that? So it is
well, my brother, where we need to start, we need to start by admitting that there are no human beings anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Whether they are black, they are white, they are European, they are Africans, and all that, human beings are human beings. They are fallible, they are sinful, they enjoy power, they enjoy amassing wealth for themselves. So all of us, the point of departure, whilst we bring assets, intelligence, abilities, political astuteness and intelligence into leadership, but we also bring ourselves as fallible human beings, and maybe that's where religion comes in also.
So that
then is going to tell you that every politician or anybody who's wanting to be elected for power, they don't come because they are perfect and all that. That's why you need instruments to hold them accountable.
So you're introducing in that whole mix instruments of accountability, because all human beings are fallible. So we recognize that when we are exposed to power, then we're going to use power. That's the natural thing. That's the default position, that we'll use power to make it better for ourselves and those who are related to us. So the instruments, let's talk about the instruments, Doc.
Exactly. It's exactly what you say. So for instance, you spoke about the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
We have something like that in South Africa also. But also the rule of law, to inculcate the culture that people must respect the rule of law, and if one doesn't do that, there are consequences. So even in the so-called thriving democracies or better democracies, those people who are running those democracies are not saints. They are not actually better than us as Africans who may be running our governments down. No, they are all like us. It's just that their laws are much more biting than ours. Ours, we may have the laws, but the implementation is weak. people with power and money are able to get away with the misdemeanors that undermine governance. So you need these political and social instruments that are going to guide, channel, limit, control, and even threaten those in power so that they are within the parameters of good governance.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if you lessen that, even your best, your good people will fall into the trappings of power, money, greed, and resources when they do misgovernance.
So what you're saying is that if you have these instruments, there are instruments of law, rule of law, but there are social instruments. But you are saying people must be held accountable for their actions.
Exactly.
So that speaks to the justice, because so what you're saying is that it must be justice for all, because we've had situations where you look on what has happened, like we had an instance where a gentleman went over to the Governor General and picked some ackies and he got 5 years, and people who are stealing worse things from the public purse are getting away with a slap on the wrist. So people are looking on and saying, And so now what happens is that people are now taking justice into their hands and saying, if I go to the rule of law, I'm not going to get real justice. So you're saying if we fix our justice system and the instruments that hold politicians and people of power to the same standard, then it will be much better. Is that what you're suggesting?
That's what I'm suggesting, because, and I'm happy that you've brought into the conversation the concept of justice.
Yes.
Because ultimately, whether we are struggling for freedom, we are struggling for liberation, the end point for which we are fighting so that ultimately there could be justice in society, which means there will be fairness for all people, whether it comes in terms of how people are treated, how the resources are distributed, and all that. There will be fairness, how the rule of law is manifested and implemented. There will be justice for all people, because, as we've said, we go back to where we started. All people are created in the image of God, and they've got equal rights, equal access, equal claim to life, liberty, and access to resources that may be there in society. Now let me get to how do we do that, this justice. We need to make justice not just to be a social ideal and or a political ideal that we have. Justice must also be understood as a religious ideal. That's where you need your religious institutions to walk alongside your political system and systems of governance to instill, because you need the heart also to be able to work towards doing what is right, other than being prone to allowing the lapses of the flesh and the quest of greed that we have. But you always need the spirituality that you need to accompany your instruments of governance, to supplement the knowledge, the intelligentsia that your political leaders and the commitment that they have. They need a spirituality, they need a religion that stands behind that and be the conscience of society, of the leadership, of government, to critique it, to always be pointing. So when your ministers, your cabinet people go to, because most of them in other parts of the world, like in my country, they sit in pews on Sundays, they worship, and all that, they are people of faith, and all that. But when they come out there, and they go there wanting to, they realize their weaknesses, their temptations, their threats that they face during the week, in their work of pulling them towards corruption and other things. They go to church with the hope that a message of hope, a message that will strengthen their moral consciousness will be given to them, so that when they go back to the office, they remain resolute to the higher ideals for which they are serving society in those offices. So you need the religious communities and institutions to do what we call public theology, which is meant to support and critique and sometimes be brutal to systems of government if they are corrupt, but also supplement and support them when they are doing the right thing. And the right thing is measured according to how government is treating the most vulnerable people of that society.
The most vulnerable. All right, Prof, we are out of time. But just to summarize, so what I hear you saying is that if there is going to be good governance, then there is a very specific and strong role of the church. The church,
yes,
to is it to speak to power, to say to them, yes, what you're doing is wrong in terms of the morality. Yes. So you are, yes, saying that even in terms of what we do, it's not just a feel good, but it is to say this is wrong based on what the word of God is saying. Because in Psalms 89:14, he says, my throne is built upon righteousness, justice, yes, mercy, and truth. So there is, so what you're saying is time for the church to wake up and to begin to not only invite people to prayer, but to say to them, based on this law, the higher law, what you're doing is wrong. And it goes back to what you have said, that each person is created in the image and likeness equal. So there needs to be a just way, and we must keep speaking about justice for all.
Yes.
All right. Before you go, and so you're here in Jamaica, just to say, we have 5 minutes before we go, to say that you are here and you are the guest speaker at the International University of the Caribbean graduation, which, yes, happens today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
yes,
and what is happening is that there is a collaboration and partnership between your university and, yes, the International University of the Caribbean in terms of, yes, person accessing studies at a higher level for masters, doctorates.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so that is,
yes,
okay. You can talk a bit about that, because people need,
yeah. Well, the good thing is that we believe very much that one of the biggest things that's needed to turn our societies around is education.
Yes.
It's knowledge. And this knowledge is not just knowledge that should come from one perspective, which is the Western perspective. We believe very much that other perspectives and societies and cultures that have previously been marginalized in the corridors of higher education need to be explored, because they are virgin ground or land in terms of knowledge that we need to build a new society. People, yes, we need science to build the world, but we also need the humanities. We also need culture. We also need the knowledge that comes from our people. The indigenous knowledge systems that are there have to be benefited from by people. So we are opening up the African community through our institutions, such as the University of KwaZulu-Natal, which is actually a premier university for African scholarship. That's why we are saying to the scholars who are here, also come to our part of the world to benefit from a unique perspective of the world and life and existence, which is an African experience, to add into your education, so that your education and qualification will not just be scientific, but can also, over and above being scientific, have a soul that seeks to make society even much more better.
Okay. And we're going, as you were saying, we're going back to Africa. So because we have very strong roots in Jamaica to Africa, to
I know,
Ethiopia
I know.
with the Rastafarian community and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So you're saying, look to Africa.
Yes.
Look to Africa to see.
Yes. Look to Africa.
Look to Africa. So we are so glad, Prof, that you are here sharing with us, and we thank you for your perspectives, because what you're saying to us is that what's happening in South Africa is very similar to what is happening in Jamaica, and you have put forward very specific solutions as to how we need to deal with it in terms of integrity of the individual, people understanding their calling, the concept, the Zulu concept of Ubuntu. It becomes important. So we are taking from you and seeking to do that to help us to solve the problems that we face. Because I know we have a strong struggle with corruption here, and you are having that also in your country, and you say it goes back to the quality of the individual and the church as a role to play in that. Doc, thank you very much. Really appreciate what you have said, what you have shared, the perspectives in terms of religion and good governance and what can be done. I'll see you later, because I'm supposed to be a part of what is happening. We'll meet in person. Doc, thank you very much for coming to Jamaica and sharing.
Thank you for having me. I'm really humbled. Thank you.
Bless you, my brother.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
BBC News with Sue Montgomery. Qatar says it's working with Israel and Hamas to finalise the details of an agreed pause in the fighting in Gaza as the Israeli bombardment continues. Earlier, Israel said the temporary ceasefire would not happen before Friday. The deal would enable the release of 50 hostages seized by Hamas last month, as well as more than 100 Palestinian women and children held in Israeli jails. A spokesman for the Israeli Defense Forces, Peter Lerner, said they had good reason to remain alert once the truce went into effect.
I think it's important to understand that we have a very, I would say, questionable history with Hamas and ceasefires. They never seem to hold their fire. So we will be in defensive positions, holding our positions, making sure that we are well defended, well protected, but also very vigilant in case any attacks originate from Hamas, from the Gaza Strip, whether it's rockets or attacks against the forces on the ground.
Documents seen by the BBC indicate that an ally of Russia's president has illegally adopted a child abducted from Ukraine. The investigation found the child was taken by armed guards from a children's home in September last year, when Russian troops occupied the city of Kherson. The head of Indonesia's anti-corruption agency has himself been named as a suspect in a case involving extortion and kickbacks. Firly Bahuri has denied he's corrupt. Mickey Bristow reports.
The police said there was enough evidence to link Mr. Firley to corruption at the country's Ministry of Agriculture. The former minister at the department has already been arrested. Officers said they'd found foreign exchange transaction documents and $500,000 in connection with the investigation into Mr. Firley, although he's not yet been arrested. Until relatively recently, Indonesia's anti-corruption agency was well respected and successful, but its potency has been undermined by changes brought in by the current president, Joko Widodo.
Dutch political leaders are preparing for negotiations to form a coalition government after the far-right Freedom Party pulled off a surprise election victory. No party won a majority, but the Freedom Party's controversial leader may now lead negotiations. Anna Holligan reports.
Today, over champagne and cake inside the Freedom Party parliamentary headquarters, Geert Wilders made a toast to the 2.3 million people who voted for him and told the BBC he was ready to compromise. Before the election, the three other big parties ruled out playing any part in a Wilders-led government because of his far-right policies. But there are already indications that could change, and Geert Wilders will need to find enough partners inside Dutch politics in order to form a coalition and wield the influence he's always wanted.
BBC News. Ambulances are on standby at the mouth of a collapsed tunnel in India as emergency teams get nearer to rescuing 41 construction workers who've been trapped for 12 days. The Director General of the National Disaster Response Force told the BBC that the men could be reached within the next few hours if everything goes to plan. Officials in Ethiopia say at least 50 people have died due to drought-induced hunger. In the northern Tigray region, 46 people who had been displaced from their homes due to the drought died. In neighbouring Amhara region, a local official said 6 people and 4,000 cattle had died. For more than 5 months, the US and the UN suspended food aid to Ethiopia following allegations of corruption. Parts of the state of Queensland in Australia have been overrun with a plague of rats. A wet winter and a good harvest have created the ideal conditions for the rodents to breed. But with so many, they've been forced to migrate across the state in search of food. Thousands have even turned up, some dead, some alive, on beaches. The world's longest-running science fiction TV show, Doctor Who, is celebrating its 60th anniversary. Starting this weekend, 3 special episodes of the BBC series will be aired to mark the event. They'll feature the return of David Tennant, the actor who played the lead character for 5 years until 2010.
To get to return to something that meant so much 15 years ago and was such a huge part of my life and has never really gone away. I mean, Doctor Who, when you're attached to it, you're attached to it. But to get to revisit it sort of full time, even briefly, was something I never really imagined.
David Tennant will then hand over the role of the Doctor to Ncuti Gatwa. And that's the latest BBC News.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me, the actor.
Half a tree, 1 and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Half a tree, 1 already, 2 and ready, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
And love more, 'cause you open up the door.
Live, camera, volume. Live It Up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
On a natural some things that watch me fly on Jamaica.
For discussions on health and education, inspiring interviews, surprise giveaways, your favorite songs, tune in to Bess 100 FM this and every Sunday at 11:30 to 12 noon. It's Distinction 411, your weekly college magazine program hosted by James and the Distinction family. Catch you on Sunday.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
You need reliable health care? We have it! Yes, we do! Great George Street Pharmacy. Shop number 897 Great George Street, Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland. Opening hours, Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-603-7372 or WhatsApp us at 876-205-0499. Yes, we have reliable health care for you at Great George Street Pharmacy, Savannah, Lamar.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Good morning. Welcome back to the Morning Connection. This is Pastor Percival Palmer flying solo today. But it's been a very interesting time so far. We examined the statement by Howard Mitchell as he was being inducted into the PSOJ Hall of Fame. And he said some very interesting things that we must stand up, take note of, because he's been there, done that. And some people would say he has a t-shirt to show for it. But he, having worked in public and private sector and has been an advisor to governments, is saying, would say, pull up, where that we're going is not good. And then I opened with Proverbs 29:18. Without a vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth law, happy is he. And then you know my pet verse, Psalms 89 and verse 14, which says, his throne is built upon righteousness and justice and truth and mercy follow after him. And then there's another verse that says the people groan when the people who are unrighteous are in power. And I say that against the backdrop of what Howard Mitchell has said, to remind you that this weekend the JLP is having their conference. And coming to mind is the fact that they go into a conference with a leader who, for 2 years running, has not had his declarations gazetted by the Integrity Commission. And then we had on 9 Professor Kumalo, who is Dean of Philosophy at he's Dean of the School of Philosophy, Classics and Religion at Swallow Zulu Natal University in South Africa. And he raised some very important thing. He's a professor of theology, and his major work is looking at how does religion interact or intersect with good governance. And he made some very, very important points. And in the end, he just summarized it and says, there's the problem in terms of the trust deficit, and how do we deal with that? Because he says, point was democracy is the best form of government, and he quoted somebody, I don't remember who he said, but he also pointed to the fact that you promise so much to get into power. It's a transaction, and when you go in, you recognize what is there, and people say, but you tell us lies. It's not really that, because if you are not promising something in that transaction, it's not going to happen. But then he says, but you know what helps in that situation? If you have men and women of integrity, people who have a call, recognizing that there's a purpose to uplift everybody within the society, introduce the South African, the Zulu concept of Ubuntu, that if we go together, that we must go together if we're going to achieve it. And then he spoke to the whole thing of power and how it corrupts. And he's calling on the church to play a greater role in terms of speaking to the power that be and holding people accountable in terms of what we must do. So what are your ideas and thoughts? And just to say that Professor Kumalo is going to be the guest speaker at the International University of the Caribbean graduation that happens today at 1 o'clock at Webster Memorial Church Hall. I'm hoping to see him there later, but he has been saying some interesting things, and he came for Pan-African reflections on good governance and public trust. He did a lecture on Tuesday at the Hope United Church. Been a very interesting week, but it gets even more interesting as we go into the weekend. We've had the government saying, we're going to reduce bus fares, but on the face of it, they say it's about inflation, and the minister, the BOJ governor, has come out and backed it, and I'm going, oh, really? I've often said, what is your motivation for doing what you do? Because that is what is always held in balance. And remember, God judges hearts. We might see actions, and Prince Machiavelli in The Art of Politics pointed to virtue without it really being for the good of people. So I'm going to open the lines that you can comment. And yesterday, the Integrity Commission sent some indicative reports to Parliament. We know what has been happening in Parliament with the contortions in terms of whether it should go to the public, and the Justice Minister said, you see what happened with the Prime Minister? I want to remind the Justice Minister that why the report came, it was, yes, it never said there was not, it wasn't corrupted in terms of what happened. It just says that the time had passed, and that is what the lady indicated. So we lose sight of those things, because it depends on where you are at. But let us remember, it's one Jamaica that we live in. It's one Jamaica that we live in, and we have to be so careful for what we are saying and doing. Our children are looking on. So the weekend is upon us. This is our Friday, but this weekend the JLP will have their conference, their annual conference, and there's so much out there that we can talk about. But let us be constructive in terms of what we're saying. My motivation for doing this, I'm saying, as a person who has seen it all in this country, I've passed through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, and I'm saying we can do better. We must do better. We must do better. We must do better for ourselves and for our children and for the future. We can do better. We keep making excuses about this. No, we can do better. And it just takes individuals which form communities to say, no, we can do better. We must do better for our children. With the way that we are going, it cannot continue. The values have to change. This black biculture, this culture of corruption must change, because it has now become a stranglehold, a chokehold on the shared prosperity of every single Jamaican. We have to do better for ourselves. So the lines are now open for you to call us. 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473. Remember, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach. Can we get some righteous living in Jamaica? Some righteous thinking? Can we transform the way that we are saying and we are doing things? Saying a big shout out to Minett and Lowell, even as they are moving about this thing. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach. Remember, the lines are now open for you to call in. What do you think about what the professor had said with shared experiences from Africa? And he says, we're coming back. We're going back to Africa because there are certain wonderful things. Good morning. I see. Sasha, how are you, sir? Morning. Yes. Good morning. So it becomes important for us as a nation. We have to do better by ourselves. We have to do better. And I think my friend who speaks all the time of righteousness is very, 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 very big up on that. And I know I'm talking about righteous living, boss man. Yes, man. And he said, the gentleman said some very important things coming out of South Africa. You see that concept of Ubuntu? Conference of Ubuntu. That concept of Ubuntu is important. It's important for us that we come in it. So it is very important. I want to go back to what Howard Mitchell said on the weekend in his speech, and I want us to take note of it. I don't want us to say, oh, it's a nice speech. The man was talking some serious things for us and saying, come on, Jamaica, it's not a boy. If him say it, say him know him a talk about, I wonder if Mr. All right, boss. It is important. I just want to go back to what he said and tell me what you think in terms of what Howard Mitchell shared on the weekend. It's a wake-up call to all of us. It's a wake-up call to all of us, whether we want to accept it or not as Jamaicans. Him saying, no, man, if we continue on this path, we don't know where it head now. And some people have said already, that Jamaica is a failed state. I don't think so, but I do believe that some signs are there based on how we're doing things and how we've become so very protective of each other. Remember, the lines are open for you to call. I want you to share in this discussion with me here this morning. All right, let me find it. Again, shared some things, but I want us to listen. My friend enlightened and the other people. Yeah, so it is. Oh, here it is. So Mr. Mitchell. The headline, Jamaica in grave danger of failing as a nation. Wow. And this takes a gentleman in the present scenario of what it is. So the Integrity Commission has sent out another set of reports to Parliament. We see how they say they'll deal with it. All right, so let me just continue to read what he said. He says, when laws that make up the rule book by which we function and prosper are mocked, avoided and flouted by leadership. Let me say that again. When laws that make up the rule book by which we function and prosper are mocked, avoided and flouted by leadership, when rules are applied selectively. That's important to know. Professor Kumalo was speaking about that when he was talking to the fact that the rule of law is important in terms of any society, are applied selectively, enforced on the weak but not on the strong. The gate to autocracy is open, and he was speaking also about the type of government is open, and that spells doom in a society with immature institution. And this is important because remember, even though Jamaica has been around as an independent country, we are only 61. But we have some wonderful institutions that have worked well for our society. Things like the NIS that have worked. Things like PAD that is of late vintage, is not early. Things that we have done are showing us the gate. I am deeply concerned that Jamaica today fits that model. And he says, it's Howard Mitchell, we are witnessing an unremitting, atavistic and cabinalistic onslaught on our regulatory institutions by other state entities that should be supportive rather than destabilizing. And I regret that much of our civil society appears to be either obliviously asleep or compromised by complicity in the efforts of destruction of the social institutional framework of the country in order to maintain the status quo. So he's speaking to the church, civil society. He's speaking to NGO. He's saying to us, we need to wake up. And I think Professor Kumalo spoke to that in terms of the role, the intersection of religion and governance, that there is a significant role that the church in Jamaica can play. Remember, we have the greatest number of churches per square mile. But I tell you something that is happening. You have a call? Okay. No, I tell you something that is happening. It used to be we have more churches per square mile, but I tell you now, we have more gambling places now than churches. Because everywhere you turn, you see the signs. There's this and this retailer there. And then I remember doing nothing. I was coming down before the highway was built. I was coming back and I said, them say we have more churches per square mile. And I was just checking to see the amount of bars that I saw coming down. And for every church that I saw in driving, and I was coming back from St. Anne, I think it was, no, coming back from Montego Bay, but I started my little test when we hit the border St. Anne and coming down Mount Rossa and thing. We had more bars than churches, so, but now we have more gambling places where you can go and place bets and so on than churches. Is that an indication of what is happening and that our people are saying? Right, so he says now, our magnificent efforts to escape from our self-imposed death trap will be for nothing unless, listen to this, we further rescue ourselves from the antisocial and savage culture that is growing within us, despite the best efforts of some of our agencies of state and our well-meaning civil society change agents. He closes, ladies and gentlemen, we need first to change our immediate behaviors, and secondly, and this is so important, to restructure the Constitution and the legislated rules and incentives that no longer serve our purpose. The state by itself cannot stop the rot in our behavior. So what Mr. Mitchell was saying to us, and we have said, if we're going to do constitutional change, let us do it in a real way. Because the Constitution is what constitutes the shared values of our people as to what is right or wrong. And it says no amount of state of emergencies can prevent the rising tide of contract killings and savage domestic violence. The first step has to be a positive manifestation of the majority of our civil institutions and of our citizens to reverse the corrosive deviance in our social relationship. Civil society must speak up, speak out, we must act. I therefore propose a national values and attitudes campaign. Can you imagine if we had done that from in the 90s when PJ had spoken about it, encompassing all of our society and driven and motivated by a broad-based national steering committee sufficiently funded by civil society, the diaspora, the state, and with any international assistance. He says it wasn't our original idea. And now, as we come up on our break, remember that our lines are open for you to call and to comment on what's happening. 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473 when we come back from our 8:30 break. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trang back good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like busy, Medina, moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you, Cage. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me, the actor. Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Half a tree. One already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
Some things that watch me fly on Jamaica.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, welcome back to The Morning Connection. Wow. As we continue to ponder, I am just continuing to read from excerpts of the speech by Howard Mitchell. As I was saying, it becomes important. Yes, Prime Minister Patterson, I know it's not an original idea, but it's a thought that has never been given a chance. Values and attitude, never been properly strategized and implemented. And if you stop and think about it, Jamaica suffers from a massive vacuum of communal beliefs. Our motivations are largely tribal or individual, and we are socialized accordingly. All of our organization, our social structures are designed around tribal or individualized contests for self-satisfaction, devoid of respect or civility, or of any care for the consequences of a win at all cost value system. Does that sound like us? I think so. And he speaks about starting a campaign that don't cost a lot of money, because once we have established what the variable change is, and it's talking about work the messages into many plans that we have. It looks like, I'm just listening to it, and he was highlighting what Sandals, Island Grill, JMB, Bakery, Ministry of Health, other people have done in regards to the whole thing to read the National Transformation Campaign. I think that was a step up to the values and attitude. And I heard somebody speak of, it's a change of mindsets, you know. This week, the civil service launched their week of activities, which come to an end. And the speaker spoke about, can we change our mindsets to think of ourselves as first class, and what that means? first class. What does that mean? If you have a mindset that is Jamaicans are all first class citizens, then it will change how we interact with each other in terms of how we treat them. And that is what it is. Let us transform Jamaica. As I said, the lines are open, so you can call 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473. The lines are open for you to interact with us and to share with us, even as we just reflect on what is happening. The other thing that would have happened, and this came out of the thing, the rains. Remember, what you sow is what you reap, and so it was interesting that something that was up in the news recently, about some development up in Jacksonville. Now the people are suing. Say that because what has happened in terms of the movements in the earth, the geological thing, and I think Professor Simon had said, you can't just build. Well, the rains have come, and guess what has happened? It has destroyed persons' property, and people said they're going to sue. It's kind of unfortunate in terms of that and what is happening. And of course, as we talk about it, the Integrity Commission has sent something to the Parliament, I think yesterday, in terms of some report. And we'll see how that will be handled, because that now enters into the Parliament with the new rules that they have under the leadership of the Speaker of the House, that it goes to the Joint Select Committee of an Integrity Oversight Committee, and then it is going to be released. But you see what happens, because there are a lot of things out there, and we just need to deal with it. We have to face up to some of the realities that are out there that, as I say all the time, we can't continue. That's just what I'm saying. We can't continue. We have to be doing better as a country. Remember, you can call in regards to it. Another thing is that we've been talking about it, and I guess it's there. You know, it's like the elephant in the room in regards to Integrity Commission and the non-gazetting of our Prime Minister's statements for 2022. Where does that leave us? He has commented on it and saying why, but if the Integrity Commission really can't do what they're doing and say we gazetting, we have a challenge and a problem. Do we have a call, sir? Are you check something in regards to it? Why? You know what I think has happened? Because on Thursday we normally do not entertain calls. So most people saying, oh, them are no. Just those who are listening online, let me see what is online. We're taking calls. I'm in studio this morning with the engineer. But we've had a very interesting guest. Let me just see what is happening online. There are any matters there. So we have that the elephant in the room, I call it, of note in terms of crime and violence. A person is alleged who was the mastermind behind the killing of those two young individuals, two young boys up in Salt Spring. They said, based on their intelligence, and then did a operation in St. Mary, that was Assistant Commissioner Clifford Chambers was reporting that they tracked him based on the intelligence. There was a firefight. The person has died. I'm just wondering, some of the times when you hear that reported, if the person is cornered, do you think that if the person is taken in custody, that we can't get some more intelligence in regards to who are the other persons, instead of, as it were, do that and we just deal with them. Just another way of thinking about it, because if he was associated with other individuals, probably taking him alive and finding out who and where the guns are, would put even a greater dent in terms of what is happening with our crime and violence, because that is a major, major thing. Good morning, caller. Thank you. Good morning. This is Morning Connection. Hello. Hey, good morning.
We are going with it now.
Hey, they have a system, a tribal system, but it is still have some level of democracy in it, in terms of you have the elders that deal with it, but he would best be able to explain it. But he spoke about Ubuntu. Ubuntu, the system where if you are doing what you are doing, you have to do it for everybody. You can't think about it just for a few people. That's what he was saying. So he was saying that is a principle of operation. So any action you take in, you have to take into consideration everybody.
Well, we can't work upon a system like that.
It's true. He pointed out that it's true, yeah.
Yeah, because we need a system where I defend the Africans. The Africans, we want a system where I defend the Africans.
Mm-hmm.
It look like the Africans now have no system in this world. We defend the Africans. And you see, so the other system, them are crumble.
Yeah, right. So Ubuntu, which is an Asian African word meaning humanity to others, it is often described of reminding us that I am what I am because of who we are.
Yes, sir.
So it is a system of interdependence, Africa. I am what I am because of who we are. So it is not it's not an individualistic system. I mean, when I think about me, but me I think about myself and the whole. And that's what he put on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, we want a system where I defend the people, them, my brethren.
That's true. That's so true.
A system where I help the people, them. A system where I develop the people, them. This system we have down here now develop we, and it now help we.
Yeah.
And it now have not much to do with we.
That's true.
To the parliament, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get nothing for table in there.
Aye, my brother.
You can't get nothing for work in the parliament for the people.
Yeah.
The parliament look like it becomes a family affair.
Aye.
And not for the majority. It's for the minority.
Right. And he pointed to that, you know. He pointed to that in the end. He was saying, but when you get into politics, you have to have integrity. You have to have a purpose. You have to remember you are there to serve the people and not yourself. And then he pointed to the whole thing of power, that everybody going there good, but then the power corrupt. So I'm saying you need to put in instruments that are going to hold the people accountable. So he looked at the whole thing and said, you can't have that without the accountability and making people pay for their actions. Yeah.
Remember, so we have law here, you know.
Right. And it spoke about the rule of law. You know? Yeah, it spoke about the rule of law too. Yeah.
We have law here, but the parliament, parliament find a way out to go around the law.
Right. Yeah.
Them grave one got caught. When them in a problem, so real reading. Little school money. Little children them.
Yeah, the school.
A little yai water depend them.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're right, African. Yeah.
You know, the thing now work through in the bedroom.
You're correct.
The politician them just take what them want and so yeah man, him take it and alright, let him come out of parliament.
And he spoke about accountability too. Yeah. That's why he spoke yeah.
The spirit of the house, so they will come out of the house. What's your name? Dalrymple?
Yeah, Dalrymple, yeah.
Dalrymple, 1 to 1 now.
Well, I think she's going to have to go to court, you know. She have to go to court for that.
That's how we think.
No, but that's what it says. So charges were laid against her. And she's going to have to go to court because she was it's ruled that based on what happened, it's a court matter and she have to go pay back.
When the court start?
I don't know, but we'll follow that up. The DPP, it's in our court. Yes?
Reverend?
Yes?
These politicians, them do, the court can't trouble them.
But we are the court, you know. We are
the court, but we are the outside court, not talk about the one of them have done a half a tree.
No, man.
The court out there, them have done a half a tree. When me go to pay anything, me get me 6 months or me 10 year or me 20 year. And me have to pay.
Okay.
The politician then do them go there. If a police come and lock up a politician a year, the rest of them will say, oh, dear, you go there and both you lock him up. You couldn't wait till him come there.
Yeah, we remember that. But it a change, you know, because the people, them get fed up.
We're fed up about the system, the system. We need to change the system.
And we are going to change the system, African.
Because the system now help we.
That's correct.
It can go help a few.
Right, that's correct.
That's why when voting time comes, them can't get just depend on a little bit of voting. You know?
Yeah, but African. With the election looming, they say, what your encouragement to everybody, this is how the system work. Let us go out and vote. And if you believe that it's not working, then change. You know, you were listening when him said that democracy is about making promises. It's transactional. And some of the time people go in with the right intent. When them go there and see them say, So him said that's why you must have integrity. So people can speak the truth and say this is what it is, but not promise the people them nothing.
What them could have gone in there and see? If nobody want to deal with the people them.
Aye. That's a question that me have to answer. We have another caller though, African. We'll give another person a chance, yeah?
It's good to be here, yeah?
Yeah, but thank you, African. You raise an important Ubuntu principle. We need to apply it here in Jamaica.
Yeah, man, we want some principle, man. I'll leave some of them nasty principles around here, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
The Western principle, man, the Western something, them not good enough, brethren.
It's not working for us. So we have to find
something. New something, man.
Yeah, man. All right. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding.
Africa love Bonga person.
Hey, you come because you're the Africa, South African.
No, you know, I'm going to say, towards the presentation, it is proven.
Yes.
And it's quite evident that all politicians for charge.
Yes.
For the running of Jamaica.
Yes.
And up to the crime and violence. The whole of them for charge.
You mean every single politician? Even those who are not guilty?
Even when the supporter will come go on like him a big supporter. All him from him talk and him a talk like him a big supporter and for charge so. Right? Because we see democracy and not for poor people. Democracy are for the rich people them and the government. Alright, look on this now. Bam. Our council election are coming in February.
Correct.
Bam. Them drop bus here. Drop this and drop that. While parents still fight hard to send them to go to school. So when them not drop flour and cornmeal and sugar. And them can't do that. You think them can talk that?
They can if they need to.
The government of Jamaica can't talk about him a drop flour price and rice price and saltfish price and them sitting there. And oil price. Eh? Make them never try to drop that. We challenge them to try take down from flour and rice and sugar and cornmeal and them things that were poor people are buy.
You know,
we challenge them.
But you know, African, coming out of the pandemic with what was happening in some countries. Some countries actually did that, you know. They did it in a way either they move some tax off the something so it reach the person cheaper. The opposition has said though, you know, you see this thing in terms of the gas tax, the double gas tax, if you fix that, then you're easing the burden of more people. So they are saying, think about it. But the government said, no, man, we want the revenue. So you're right. If they really want to do things that are impacting people in their pocket, it can be done. It can be done. It can be done.
All right, now.
Yeah.
When me look on democracy,
yes,
from me born 1953 until now,
yeah,
and from the party politics system coming, and from a constitution where them say them give it, you know, that not have nothing in it
for us.
To uplift the people them beside a vast minority of the people them in Jamaica. Those who can afford, you know, and in comparison to those who cannot afford, you know, it's a serious thing. If you notice this, you know, one thing needs to work in Jamaica like Paul Bogle them thing.
I mean,
and it's that them a drive, but the people them too. And through the people them, not really fully up. You know, say, me now kill my black brother, my little brother, what they say, you know. You kill who they kill. You know.
But
and through them know that them set them people, them use the psychology, and them set the people at war against themselves.
Yeah, and you know, my brother, that is something. You were listening to what I was reading from Mr. Mitchell's speech. He allude to the same thing, you know, the whole thing of divide and rule.
Right.
Divide and rule. Him say it, you know, and he must know him talk about, because people don't know this man is being a businessman, being an advisor both sides. So him know, and him say it can't, him say it have a shift. That's what I must say. I guess when you reach certain age in your life and you see it and you say, but this thing now work. It now work for the people then. It has to
work. It's never designed to work for the people then.
Right, so you have to shift it then. You have to shift. Yeah.
It has to move.
Yeah.
And them now have to move it. The people have to take it.
Interesting.
The only problem with me, you know, is that the people become the people's enemy. True to the psychology.
Unfortunately.
The people know them enemy, you know. Are them brother and them little sister are them enemy. That's why you see them all kill baby.
Yeah.
All shoot up car with little picnic lights.
Yeah.
You understand me? While we have true enemy. We have true enemy. The people who are taught to believe that they are enemies of themselves.
Right. So what you're saying is that we have to shift Ras Kremlin in terms of the thought process, the transformation of people's mind. And that you say. And we say that all the time.
All right, now I ask you one question now, because I'm not asking you on the phone line, you know.
Yeah.
I want somebody else to talk.
Yeah, man.
Despite all the evidence and the proof we exposed this morning from the Bess FM, coming through those professors.
Yes.
Right? What more evidence we want?
In order to act.
In order to act.
Yeah, time come for
in
act.
In accordance that we now kill little brother and sister. Eh?
Yeah.
Look. In court, they can sentence a man if they have the proper evidence. And now these two persons this morning provide all the evidence to show say it's a barbaric system and some tie jacket and tie people and some little upper class people to go and dominate and drink them champagne and do them want do. And let the people them know, the ordinary people them.
To suffer.
As Jamaican people.
To suffer.
In which they are Africans, right? The majority of them are Africans. And them left them to kill off them one another.
So what I hear you saying, Ras, is that we as people need to change and think, and you know, the greater thing I show you is love. We have to love our brothers, and you see, if we begin to love our brothers as ourselves and will not kill, you know, it shifts a pattern, you know, because there is what I call a natural mystic that flows when you have bad feeling and thing versus when there's love. It's amazing when the mystic in the air changes to one of love appreciation, and respect, and make it better. I hear that something coming your way still December 16th. What the birdie tell me, true?
Well, you know, that kind of hear little birdie as a Bob said, two little birds in song of love and them. You know what I mean? We're not to know.
Yeah.
Me expect the people, them, you know,
Yeah.
this morning.
Mm-hmm.
To the 23rd or 24th?
23rd.
Me expect them to start make some placard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And me expect them to come out in a them million and defend them right, because see the evidence that don't talk on your program a while ago, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That me expect the people them in Jamaica to do. You know what I mean? And realize, say, I'm a brother that, I'm a sister that, I'm in a pint no boy upon him.
Right.
Right. Because we have enough evidence, the same evidence where them used to put me in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And hang me or shock me or what they want to do. See, we get the evidence now.
No, so we can't do
Let's beg them two people there to come talk.
Yeah.
Talk to the country. Make we beg them, summons them to come. Anyway, them they will find plain fear, give them a hotel for them, stay. And what? Protect them too.
Yeah.
From our oppressive system.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So anyway, me bung a person, you know, so me that man, the more me talk, the more me get mad, you know, man.
No, man. It's the word is love. So we are going to change it. All right? That's
all right,
man. Bless it.
And heal up Bess FM.
All right.
Got a minute, the producer, and bung a person.
All right, then, brother.
Hey, what you know? You know, say no mediators on this program couldn't address these issues like how you addressed it this morning.
Yeah, we give thanks.
All right, blessed love. Give thanks. Give thanks. Right. Yeah.
We come up to our 9 o'clock break, so we're going to take our break. When we come back, we still want to hear from you. Howard Mitchell has said something. Professor Kumalo has said other things out of his experiences in Africa. What do you think? When we come back from our 9 o'clock break.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the
Bess FM, the champion.
And you've got it.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Ew, baby, you're sick. Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, you know, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters, Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Half a tree. One already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Best FM.
Happening on the weekend. We had a call. Somebody that called on the break. Is the caller still holding? Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes,
Morning.
yes, my friend. How you do?
You hearing me?
Yes, man. Yes, I hearing you. How you do?
Yeah. Not bad. You know, Molly call me name, but...
no, good morning, Cruz. How are you? Cruz, thank you for holding. You hearing me? Yeah, Cruz, call back. We get the thing get bad, the connection. We have another caller on the other line. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Yes, I blessed love is Percy.
How you do, my friend? How you do, Vervine? What's up?
You alone here, but you want to get to them, I don't hear you none at all.
Yeah, because we had some technical difficulties. So that's why we couldn't broadcast. So, how you do?
Yeah, and you look like something that I go on a long time with it too.
Yeah, so, but anyway, you're here this man. What's up, Mr. Vervine?
Yeah, man. You want to see a whole heap of things go on, you know.
Yeah.
First thing we want to talk about the JOTC.
Yes. Which part? The dropping of fare?
Yeah, the dropping and everything about it. Because I say, they might drop the fare now.
Yes.
And if you're the lesser before, $100, you know, and $150 for the next one, then, and $200 and so.
Right.
And the people, and we can't get the bus.
Drop the free, you can't get no bus.
So we have to take the taxi and the next one, then, the same way.
Right.
So if it go drop more now, and we now go get the bus them water. Not the taxi them we have to go take.
Aye, my friend. It makes no. A lot of people have commented on it. I heard people talking about it because the first thing is, Vervan, once when JUTC just come, when Mr. Fletcher was there, people probably don't remember this. It was a expat who came. No, from the diaspora. Set it up, it was working wonderfully. Can you remember Patty Pan and
sorry to cut you, but you want to see, we used to get to go all the conference, we used to get three bus in the morning and 3 in the evening, no? And now we get longer half we get.
That's what I'm saying. So, and what has happened over the years, they have not made the necessary investment in it to keep it going. So if you know a bus is a thing, you know, if you don't maintain it, it'll go broke down. Not true.
That's not about. So when you drop the price, we now get water, sir.
Aye, my brother.
And that time we now go have no bus car. Them now get to service them and all of them things and them now bring in none. So we now go have no bus.
Well, I hear that come January, get another 150 bus, 50 bus, me don't know. But anyway, but you have raised up.
I wish January that.
Me don't know. You know that them say, coming the new year, I get some new bus. Well, right, everything is election, you know. You were listening to the professor this morning.
But the people not supposed to be so foolish, man.
Aye.
They could get rid of them people, man. They can't be so foolish at all, sir. Some people go and love it now because them say the private sector has spend the money.
Yeah.
So, man, I give voice to that man and tell me, say, the private sector I've spent money and the government and the private sector buy all the people them. So I say, what, so them are buying the government, so we listen to yourself. That not tell them, him not tell them long time.
Oh, boy.
You can't sell the soul.
Yeah.
The money out done and we not got no soul. We have to keep the soul and make money stay.
True.
What it is.
Yeah.
You know see?
Yeah, because it's an important thing, you know, because the money are going to start to run like crazy, you know, because election in the afternoon.
Yeah, man, but so where do now? Where do?
You don't do anything.
You get the money and you can't.
You full your belly, you get a KFC.
And you can't. Full your belly. Yeah. And up here, dry something where I get. Then you don't matter about the food now. You come more the food always, because no food under there, the food them burn out and dry out and wet out.
But yeah, so.
So where do you the money? Eat it?
Well, you have to, but Vervan, you raise a point. People have to make up their minds what it is that they want important. You can't force a man to do what him not think about, you know, and some of the time people not think at all. Them just think about the immediate.
Them not think at all. So people just say some, that's why I talk, you know, that's people then can look in here and look into what I say.
Looking at them
and if them can't see it without lick them.
Yeah.
You know, see? So more and the people them they understand and know, say, we can't, what I mean, you say, them are wish we Armageddon, you know, because you look at people just love war. So them set themselves for war.
No, man. We know not the war thing. We know not the war thing.
But that some people do. Come here, you tell me, say, baby born with gun.
Baby born with gun?
So me say, we don't want to get gun. You hear him? Ooh, you know, see that baby are born with gun now. So all that. Well, yeah, not tell you, know.
The people them not think, man.
The people them get that way here, sir.
Yeah, but Vervan,
I tell you.
Vervan, you know, when you get people not thinking, then you can't tell them any foolishness and them accept it, you know. So it is whether we like it or not, is a plan. You keep the people illiterate. You don't educate the people that they can make informed choices.
But the people them supposed to read, man, because here them used to tell people about when you not read, when you're supposed to read. And you know them I tell you, so them try to remove the reading from the people them.
No, man.
And and go on with a whole heap of thing.
Yeah.
Shining them eye. I tell them, say, move your shininess from your eye and your vanity from your heart. And make we live together.
Yeah, that's
but
important.
But they don't want it so.
Aye,
and
my friend.
Tail can't move head.
True.
You can live without the tail, but you can't live without the head.
You can't live without
That's
the
not
head.
tell the people them. So them will know parable and them will know understanding. Them will get understanding. You know, see, cause that's why whole party coming on. Watch it now. I've not said that. The tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you used to talk about tattoo, and the tattoo is a sign. Well, watch one of the tattoo there where Jamaica Labour Party are using now. The color of Jamaica.
That's the tattoo they're using now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, see, anywhere you go and you see the place state, so with a church or state. So, you know, say, the tattoo that them on the line there, you know, that gang there.
Oh, wow.
And so, and some of them, I tell you, just check it out and see.
All right, Verban.
So, I tell the people and say, changing a tattoo. And them not supposed to use the color of the flag. And you don't think you need that. But they don't use white.
Flag. Yeah.
But they don't use white and green. You can't use the color of the flag. Them, everywhere you go, you see them. We know how Jamaica with it. So we're not supposed to do that, man.
Yeah, man. It's part of the...
that coming like you walk on the flag, you know.
Indoctrination.
And we're not supposed to walk on that. I disgrace the flag.
Aye. True, Verban.
Yeah, so... I want them things. Blessed love to everyone.
Yeah? All right, Verban. Blessing. Have a good weekend.
Man.
Good. You know, Cruz, we were having a difficulty when you called, but you see this thing about thinking, it becomes important. Good morning, caller. Thank you for joining us.
Morning. I just get you again. What's Charlie the other line?
Yeah, man. It's all right. What's up, Cruz?
I agree with Kremlin. Democracy is for rich people and rich country, not poor people.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, me so thought that a long time.
What you suggesting?
But if you notice that America been going around the world and tell people say other stuff bad but democratic right when democratic is one of the biggest capitalist system in the world. You know, and a long time, you know, hear from Jigsaw. Yeah, you hear me? Long time, I hear from Jigsaw.
Jigsaw
the
call
other thing
out
what I want to talk about.
Yeah, man.
I was on 3 YouTube group.
Yes.
One is the family member. A lot of them from England, and I was on Zeluka Dress, a PMP group. And I was on another group that they boot me off it, but maybe I sent something or I sent 2 more things that was not criticizing, because I was questioning those things from a long time, even before YouTube came about, from in the 80s and so. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
And maybe I sent something that I didn't scan, because I always scan stuff before I send it on to anybody. Because the other 2 groups that I'm in, they mostly send Christian stuff, like prayer and that kind of stuff. And, you know, so me kind of radical. Me not me grew up as a Christian, but me not really depend them side to that. Me know there's a creator, yes, but some of the things them within say.
But the creator, you're not agree.
Right.
But, well, it is. So, yeah, okay. So, the other group, what, it closed down or something?
No, it's not closed, and just boot me off it. Like me, I said, maybe me send something on it when me never scan. So me always scan the stuff when me send, you know. Listen hit right through before me send them on. Because sometimes I'll track like me there on the phone and send stuff for England and all about, you know.
So when you sleep, you remember as years of getting out as a more mature gentleman, you have to sleep, you know. You have to get a beauty sleep.
When you get older, you don't get a lot of sleep. You can't sleep.
Why not? Me. Serious?
But I'm one that have never slept. In farm work, my 15 years, my last 5 years of farm work, I don't remember I get 2 hours sleep.
All right.
So I was drinking 9 cups of coffee to stay away because I used to drive.
No, it can't be good for you. Anyway, so whatever happened with that group. So what is new? What you saying? You know, conference I come up, you know, go conference weekend.
What conference?
You know, so you don't know about the conference. Big conference this weekend, you know.
Ben Brethren, if me not go a PLP conference, me I go to a JP conference?
I don't know. I just don't know.
But you me never go a PLP conferences. And me are one of the most serious PLP in Santa Cruz. And I never gone out a campaign about it. I'm a delegate, me vote, and those stuff. But me work 7 days a week. So me have to work. Because me no beg. I don't beg and I don't apologize to nobody. Anything come out of my mouth, it's already gone. I will not apologize. I me no beg.
But Cruz, let me ask you a question now. Did you listen to what Mr. Mitchell said over the weekend? He was inducted into the PSOJ Hall of Fame and he said that we are on the road to becoming a failing state. Do you agree with him?
I didn't hear that.
No, it was in the paper. Get the Gleaner, Sunday Gleaner. And it I was reading from it this morning in terms of the things that he was saying.
Pastor, if a PSOJ man said that, we need more PSOJ people like him.
Yeah, because I guess he's getting on, you know. Anyway. But
anyway, when we want to know for the man, when you know, yes, sometimes I enjoy somebody replay, yes, because I listen to what me say, because I can listen good when they talk. So me always, it's like, they want a special color on this program, because every time there's a replay, I'm on it.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. Wonderful.
Yes, every time with some special radical argument. Now, the radical tell me that now I'm going to change me. But I question everything.
No, that's all right, you know. And God don't have a challenge with you asking him questions, you know, Screws.
But what I am saying now, the one last thing I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't believe the Palestinians to make any agreement with Israel until they get everything what they want. Don't go half and half. Don't go half and half. Get what they want. That they went in there to kidnap some people to bargain, not to kill anybody.
But they kill enough people though.
Bargain. Once they let go half Israel, I'm gonna know exactly where they come from and go massacre them. Don't make nobody force them.
But it's interesting.
Do nothing part-time.
But let me ask you a question. The Palestinian or the Hamas, because Hamas and Palestine are not equate to the same thing, you know. Hamas is just a group. It's like,
No. Hamas are Palestinian.
No. Just listen to what I'm saying. The Hamas is like you have politicians. The Hamas is a political group. You know that,
Hamas
right?
is not a political group because they don't have a prime minister and a leader.
So what is it then?
Where people vote for them.
No, man. Hamas was, but you don't even read or understand where I go on. Hamas is a political group. They took over from one of the other groups, the PLO. Hamas is a political group, and them run the place. Them are the government. You never know that.
Israelite government down there.
No,
you know that?
Man. No.
Israel dictate and run the people in life for so many years, Pastor. You need to know what's going on.
No, you must read it, man. Hamas, Hamas is a political group, whether you like it or not.
Well, we can call me a political group and for me stand up to poor people.
I do that too, you know, so I'm a political group.
You know?
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But all me know say,
yes.
If Hamas was a political group, then Israel couldn't do what they do.
No,
and me can't understand how Hamas so weak, why they can't go and go bomb somebody place down at Israel too.
Well, a political
like
group.
how Israel level the place and kill almost 1,000 people and the world stand by and watch. Europe should say, America and Europe, and even some people down here agree with it.
Anyway, but as I said to you, just do a bit more reading. You have to read it more balanced. I know you say you're radical, you know, but read it and come up with some balance.
Me read, me know everything. Me I follow this thing from in my 70s.
No, you need to go back beyond that.
Hamas and everything. Me know.
You need to.
But Hamas is not a government down there.
All right then. Okay.
Take it from me.
All right, my brother.
There should be a government, but even if them can't play no part, them have to hide the way they do.
All
Israel lock them up, they can't even keep it good.
So there's Gaza and there's West Bank, right? And each of them have a different local government.
Then Israel split up that.
All right. Okay.
Israel passed that, All right. Israel and America, Israel and United States and Europe passed that. All right then, Cruz.
For a good weekend. That issue becoming very explosive, and I've been having discussions with children and so on, because some of the times I really don't comment. You have to know some history. There's history that is there that goes back not even beyond the present to hundreds and thousands of years in regards to what we see happening. Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling the Morning Connection. This is your host, Percival Palmer.
Good morning, Pastor Percy. How are you?
I'm very good, Mary. What's up?
I'm just here listening to you. That program, that interview was very good. Very good with the pastor.
The Professor Kamalo. Yeah, man. He's a professor at the University of
Yes, I heard everything.
Natal.
Very good.
Yeah, man.
And that thing in the papers, Mr. Mitchell on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Very profound.
Very profound. Them say, Mary, you old enough. Them say, if shark come down from river, but if fish come from river, but and say there's a shark down there, you need to do it.
You have to believe.
My
father used to use that term a lot.
Yeah. But it is a call to action by Mr. Mitchell, because he's been an advisor on both sides, And if him come out and say that, you have to take it serious.
It's serious.
It's serious.
I've watched that man. I've listened to him his career,
Mm-hmm.
Over the years. He's genuine. He calls a spade, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And more.
He's not biased at all. And everything he says is true. But we've been talking about these things for years now. I don't want to say much because, talk, we want some action. A lot of the things that they are coming up with now, 2023, should have been done 50 years ago.
That's so true.
So if you're going to do it now, just do it. Just do it and do it, but announce it.
That's so correct. Because Mary, you see my take on it, you see, you elect people to carry out certain duties. True? And if you elect them, you don't come and tell me, say, me pay for do something, you come and tell me you do it. It's like Jesus said to the servant, remember when you have a servant to serve you, you don't tell it, you don't come back and tell it, say, well, I've done it. Him say, no, because that is your work to do. So why are we making a big thing out of it? And that is just my point, Mary.
Yes, it's not just a politician, it's everyone.
Everybody,
of us,
yeah, man. Yeah, so.
Everyone of us, and sometimes when you come and talk, people, I don't care who want to like me or not, Jesus loves me. But this is 2023 and we are operating like it is 1723. Everything is down, education, this, that, everything is down. Yeah. This bus business now taking off $10 and this and that. And it starts beginning January and must end March. It's so glad the people are custom. People want money to spend.
Yeah.
They want a good life.
Mm-hmm.
All these things should. I'm neither for the PMP nor the GLP. A lot of people start for years waiting on government to help them. Not me.
Yeah, right? And I'm agree with you. You are for the people.
These people are coming up with now they're going to do between now and the next election, the general or the local. It should have been done from the first term. What about the first 100 days that the Prime Minister, certain things he would deal with?
Yeah, and he's been judged against it. And people say he couldn't do it. Remember term office and yes, and that is what people are saying. Foolishness. But
Foolishness, no forward planning. Even in your home, you have to have forward planning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all foolishness. Everything. And the Feeder Road should be fixed long ago. Every morning, Mr. Michael from Blue Mountain, the people calling, they can't get the money for coffee. They want money to spend.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, they want 4-wheel drive on those roads, 60 feet of road.
Yeah.
So the people, and now with the drought and so, what you're paying now for fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're paying more and you're getting less.
Yeah, that you ever see it with the oranges, and the oranges them turn lemon.
Lemon! Lemon!
Oh my Lord.
You know, people don't understand. Pineapple is selling downtown for $500 a pound.
That's where it gone to now. Last week it was 300. Wow.
And it's going to be more, yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't believe in the talk action. Right? People are suffering. People are starving.
Yeah.
Literally starving, you know.
I know, Mary.
And I don't you like this word poor, right? Middle class and class, it's foolishness, but you have to say it. Middle class, we hardly have any middle class in Jamaica now. People are struggling.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pastor.
No, but I'm just simply saying what you're doing, you're raising it, because I have to interact as a pastor with a whole lot of different people. And you're saying, no, man. No. We have to do better, man. And so when certain actions are taken and then people trying to justify it, like, okay, do you know the JT is still restive because the government has not finished dealing with their issues? When the farmer lady was talking about, everybody was saying she too much, but she knew what she was talking about when she talked about livable wage. And then you take 200% and tell everybody, right. So they must 25. How do you justify that? Something wrong with that?
Something is wrong. Why you think I don't call? Because I'm here dealing with people.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get stuff for people, food, this, that, money, this, that, for people. Yeah. Instead of talk.
Time for action.
No, many mornings I'm here. I don't hear the program properly because I'm talking to people overseas and people calling me. What I must say, them can't afford to go to doctor. Them can't this. It's a serious thing.
But you continue to do what you're doing because you're making a major inroad. And if more people are like you, Mary, we'd be in a better stage because we have to love.
Thank you for saying. But I've been doing this all my life. From I was 3 years of age, and anywhere I go, I do it.
Yeah, so important.
And I need to talk to you one hour. So this, you know, these people, all the minister man, Green, all them.
Mm-hmm.
He must talk about him going to do this. Do what? What him can do?
Yeah.
They're jagabat some bandits.
Okay. All right. We come up
to listening to me. Have a blessed day today and beyond.
All right. Thanks. We are now up to our 9:30 break. Thank you. The lines continue to be open as we turn for home. All right. Now on our 9:30 break.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Live, camera, volume. Live It Up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
Some things that watch me fly.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Do you need reliable health care? We have it! Yes, we do! Great George Street Pharmacy. Shop number 897 Great George Street, Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland. Opening hours, Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-603-7372 or WhatsApp us at 876-205-0499. Yes, we have reliable health care for you at Great George Street Pharmacy, Savannah, Lamar.
Yes, Jamaica and the world. You want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night, from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
And welcome back to the Morning Connection. Well, we're turning for home, but it's been a very impactful morning. Boy, we had somebody from South Africa with us, all the way from South Africa, Professor Kumalo, who is Professor of Theology at the KwaZulu-Natal University. And he is the professor of classics philosophy. Give a lecture on Tuesday about Pan-Africanism and governance and trust and so on under the patronage of P.J. Patterson. But we were also listening to what Mr. Mitchell said on the weekend. Wow. So the lines are open, 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473. You know what is emerging to me, my fellow sojourners, as we continue to walk on this road? We are saying what is not good enough. We need more. There is more, because the God I believe in is a God who is a God of abundance, not scarcity. So when I see what is happening when people are openly preventing other people from accessing resources because of the color of your skin or your social class, that is not the God that I know. And as the professor said, we start with a position which says that every single one of us are created equal in the image. And if you start with that, it means then that justice and all of the things that he spoke about need to become realities in our life and our situation. So what are your thoughts? As a Jamaican here, a major thing on the weekend is the fact that the JLP is having their conference, but they go into this conference neck and neck in the polls with the PMP, and they have the powers of government. They have the resources. So it says to you that they may be in problems if they cannot convince the people with all of what they're doing that they are the righteous. Good morning, caller. How are you? How can I be of assistance to you today? What's on your mind?
Well, I see the election is really near.
Yeah, but I've been telling people that from the beginning of the year when you look on what I saw happening in the road works. And I'm saying, but even with that, you see, they do all of these road works, and what they just do, dig up again. Can you imagine that? How much money they spend, and some of it wasn't even done properly. Like, If you're traveling on Stony Hill Main Road, there are some craters there. If you're not careful, you'd fall on, flatten it. On Shortwood Road, there's a major crater there. Then they'll fix the things.
But the blatant thing about this road fixing, you know, is that if you realize you have this group of person go around and them dig up the road and leave it.
Yeah, that happened.
They make the hole them even more bigger on the road and leave it.
And then
they
go
are
back.
Weeks.
And then
they are weeks.
Oh my God. And you don't see it, you know. Because some of the times you see the road and you don't see it, and then it's a major drop and you hear front end.
I am telling you, worse when the rain fall and the water cover the whole, man.
Oh God, man.
It's not a normal feeling when you jump on the whole.
Oh my Lord, I mean, if you tell you, you're like the whole of your back and your front end mash up.
Well, you see, this promise now where them come out with this bus fear thing, is just an election thing. Just an election. Each of them have, look at the logic. Each of them have a conference.
Yes.
You see them come out and they make 2 days or days before some big promises for the people them to come out.
Right.
Because why you raise bus fare the other day and know all of a sudden you can drop it back. You can drop it back. And the worst part of it is that the GODC need money because they cannot function.
Yeah, them in the whole
so
of
them need them lack of resources. So when you are gonna do that now, it go and cost we the taxpayer more now.
Yeah, and I don't know if we understand that. Because a lot of time we don't understand that government rule on our behalf, you know. And everything them do, it make it look like their money. I feel with money.
Well, the right thing in Jamaica know that, but the others don't think the right way. Not gonna know that.
Cause them say, oh yes, man, but our money. And I tell people all the time, correct me if I'm wrong. When government do things that benefit all of us, that is what we have elected them to do. They are our servants.
But the next thing is that this thing benefits some, not all. Some. Just probably 30% out of 100.
You think that's so much? You're being very generous, my friend.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, but it
is saddened when you look on the aspect of it because they can do it, and then you have the people who sit there and think that yes, they're doing the right thing because they're doing this, and the others who not benefit from it.
Yeah.
Seeing that, look here, man, this don't make no sense.
Yeah. You know, I hope you were listening this morning to Professor Kumalo from South Africa, and he pointed out to something in terms of what is needed in terms of leadership, and him say, you know, when people are exposed to power, boy, it look like it get to them head. And he says in the exposure to power, that's why I need to have instruments to control their action. And him said that's why you need a rule of law. When you have the rule of law, then it's the same law for everybody and hold people in check. And him says not just saying that you're holding them in check, they must feel the consequences. And I like that. That's why when you see, as Mitchell was alluding to, the attack on the Integrity Commission, you're going, okay, why is it that the people they are the only institution that we see of trying to stem corruption? Because you know corruption is 5% of our GDP, and we say it, you know, it is what the international agencies have said. And if say for instance our GDP is $100 million US, that means $5 million US goes down the drain simply because of corruption. That's why we have to get rid of it. Once upon a time, people said no matter anything, but now this coming up because people are saying, no man, you take away the resources from me, from my picnic them, and my grand picnic them. We have to do better.
But if you realize this government now, you know, when they talk about corruption, you know, you see what is going on in the parliament? These laws that they might try to pass if they hold on the truth.
You mean in terms of the Integrity Commission?
There we go.
It's not a law, you know. The law is there, but they are saying in terms of the interpretation, it must go to this joint select oversight committee, and then, cause if it go to the select, you know, remember, if you watch PBC, everything in Parliament, you can sit down and watch what is happening. People don't know that. And they tried one time to stop it. And the people said, no, it is there because the people need to know it's the people's business we are doing. So we need to give the people them that them can see. So we'll see what happens. Because another report reached yesterday now.
Right, I am telling you, Jamaican have to open them eye.
Them have to open. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. So we have to do what we must. But it begins with us in terms of our change in mindset. Because corrupt people get corrupt leaders, whether you like it or not.
There we go. Well, thanks for the time.
All right, my brother. Blessings to you. Yeah, man. The lines are open as we begin to wrap up this morning. But I just want to thank our special guest this morning, Professor Kumalo from University of Zulu. I keep getting. Kuala Zulu Natal, yes, out of South Africa this morning, who shared with us some very important principles and truths. Good morning. This is our final call for the morning. How are you, caller? How are you?
Good morning, Pastor Percy.
How you do, my friend? Long time to hear from you. What's up?
Yeah, man. Me call, but the other day you wasn't around, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's on your mind today, my brother?
I want to touch on the fear where the government job for the JUTC.
Yeah, man.
But what I want to do, the government must remember, sir, and only 10 people in a Jamaica.
Aye, true.
Right? Mm-hmm. So if them Jappy, if you for JUTC, want to win who don't in a country, eh?
You don't vote, man. You don't vote. You need not a vote.
Right, so we check it at just an election ploy to excite people, you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, because if you were job field and the thing about it, you couldn't just drive here last week and this week you come and drop it back.
Aye.
That looks stupid.
Yeah.
Isn't that really?
Yeah.
Yes, and as me say, warm to the country people.
And they are the people who feel it, you know. Them a feel it, you know, because most of them have to take route taxi and the other buses, them a feel it.
Yes, and sometimes you have to take two different vehicles to go to Mago.
Me know.
Yeah. You know, so that's the quite high here. You know, so if you have to do something for one, if you do it for all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because when we check with the JUTC, it's just one bag of indiscipline or people, all type of stuff that go on in that company there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when we check it, the country and I want to benefit because we just have put in money and get back and don't get back no interest because just thief in a gas, tire, everything I go on down in a JUTC.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? So, you know, benefit the country that much. So they can just look at one side of the thing and say, well, then job for JUTC and country people down here. So it must be all around.
Yeah.
You know?
And the other thing, you know, my brother, is that JUTC is subsidized to the tune on the national budget of $10 to $11 billion a year. So that is another $1 billion they say it's gonna be. And I'm just looking at it because they say the argument is about inflation, but the real inflation don't come from JUTC, now it come from the taxi man them with the recent increase. So if JUTC is only for Kingston, one to the rest of Jamaica, which move about because of route taxi, and they just got a rate increase.
Yes, when we check it, when we check out right now, country, everybody important, but you see country people, country people is one of the most important people because we are feeding the nation.
And I'm agreement with you, my brother. Yeah, we are feeding the nation.
Because the day if we know, farm down here, and can't go to town people are going to dead hungry because them can't farm, but they don't have the land to farm.
Aye.
So they must always look to the farmers, them road, and all those things. But that's the thing I want to touch on, the corruption.
Yes, go ahead.
Corruption costs Jamaica $100 billion every year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you just check if that $100 billion, if we did have to spend, we couldn't have hospital without bed.
Mm-hmm.
When people go to hospital, they have to lie down for the floor. What happens at disgrace in our country? You can't have a country where people sick, the elderly people who all of their life, they work for betterment and for better the country, and when they sit and go hospital, they have to go lie down on chair 24 hours a day, 2-3 days. And then we say, the Minister of Health is the top minister in the country when it comes.
I mean, him talk very well.
And he work. Bed for in a hospital that no care how much people go there. Bed for the need person to lie down on. You know?
Yeah, but you see, and there's another side too with it. So we have to fix that. But another thing that we need to change is the practices of our people in regards to using what I call primary healthcare, because hospitals are secondary healthcare. So there's a move a long time ago to move a lot of the people into clinics, because some of them, the conditions that people go to hospital for, the clinic can deal with it. And then the prevention in terms of eating and practicing healthy things. So it's not only government alone, because my thing is, let us take responsibility individually for what we do to help ourselves. Because you see, when we do that, we take back the authority that we have given to them to say we can do it, and if we do that, then a lot of things will change, you know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we the government, you know.
Yeah, so if we recognize that we are the government and our money, so that's why I said to them, you can't thief the money, so man.
No, they can't thief the money them type of way. That's when me say they must send to prison, and every asset, every cent where they have must be taken away and put back into the coppers of the country.
Right.
Because that's the only way they go set that discipline. That's when them go there, them no go, they go thief the money and spend the money as them like and all those things. You understand? You have to correct them that they know say. When them do certain things, just tell them family goodbye, because them are going to prison for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
That's the only way out. You know?
Yeah, and I, you know, thank you for saying this, because I'm looking at an article on January 17, 2019, Metri Siaga, who is now I think PSOJ head, but then he was head of the Jamaica manufacturer exporters. He says $738 million is lost every year because of corruption. Argument.
Yes. Yeah, so when they take you right now, corruption is our main danger in this country. Would be far off betterment for all our people if there wasn't corruption from the head right down to the bottom.
Right. And so...
yeah, and when we check again, we want to touch on the farm road again.
Yeah, man. Talk quickly.
You see the highway?
Yeah.
I agree that we need highway, but
you must fix the farm road.
The road that people have to use daily before you talk about highway.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't fix highway pretty, and people can't find their way out to go on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, fix the farm road, fix all the other road, and then you fix highway, and then everybody can move around, and the country runs better. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So go and pick up yourself, Pastor. We there go and listen.
All right, then. Yeah.
You're the voice, you know.
You're the last caller for the day. But listen to this.
Yeah, man. Big up all the contact roots places like that, Rocky Hill and all the areas around, you know. Big up to the world.
Yeah, man. Bless
yeah, man. Israel. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. You know, as we close off our program for today, because that was our final call all the way from Santa Cruz. This is Metri Siaga speaking in 2019, right? Enough is not being done to eradicate the cancer of corruption, he bluntly declared, citing the 2017 International Narcotics Study Control Strategy Report prepared by the United States of Government, which described corruption in Jamaica as being entrenched and widespread. That's why I said before, corrupt people give you a corrupt leader, so it begins with us. Similarly, the World Economic Forum, in its global competitiveness report, ranked Jamaica as being among the world's worst countries on the business cost of crime and violence. So, and the Jamaicans themselves deal with that. So, Mr. Metri Siaga, now you are president of PSOJ. This is you speaking in 2018. Some of the times we keep forgetting it. He explained, as I close, the misuse of public office for private gain is blatant. So is the prevalence of corruption in most, if not all, the government institutions. It is evidence that some of the persons who are employed to put an end to corruption have themselves become complicit in the crime. Ladies and gentlemen, the anti-corruption rules are either inadequate or government agencies are too weak to enforce them. I close with that. The Integrity Commission has released a report to Parliament that was sent out yesterday. Let us see how they deal with it, because they have changed the rules of engagement with the reports that come from the Integrity Commission. Corrupt leaders feed off of corrupt people. Let us, as we go into the weekend, I'm so interested in what it is that the Prime Minister, as a leader of the JLP, is going to say to us.